Hi, I'm Angel Fernandez, your host. I'm so excited to take you on this inspiring journey from skies to the drawing board. Joining me today is Captain Ashish Kherde, a former military pilot and a civil aviation captain in training, and also a UX director and a co founder of Flaps Up. Captain, I'm so glad to have you here. So, Captain Ashish, I have to say something before we start formally. So, this set here looks really amazing. Are we sitting in a real cockpit?
I wish. But no, Miss Angel, we are sitting in a simulator. This is a real cockpit which train pilots on ground. Being a pilot myself, I cannot violate the rules. So aviation is all about discipline and procedures. So we are using the simulator for our podcast shoot.
All right, let's start with the big picture. How many pilots do we have in India right now, and how many airlines are we operating?
Uh, as per my latest knowledge, we have about 10 to 12,000 commercial pilot license holder which are operating in India, and overall approximately 15 um, airlines, which is a mix of the small and large scale operators on the regional as well as domestic routes in India.
Okay, great. So, what does the next decade look like for Indian aviation?
I would say next decade, I would say next 2 3 decades, they are they are transformative. They are big. So country is growing and economy is growing. So people want to be quick. They want to have the means of travels where they just travel 2 to 300 nautical miles in half an hour, and that is only possible if they explore this dimension of skies. And hence the aviation looks on an upward roll.
So, there's a lot of talk about your shortage of pilots. Is that true? And what does it mean for someone who's just finishing their pilot training?
Like in my last question, I told you that there is a lot of altitude to be gained. So we have a lot of demand for air travel in India, and hence the operators are trying to grow. Operators are trying to grow, which suggests that there are a lot of airplanes which are going to be procured and put into operations. So definitely, when the number of airplanes is going to go up, the pilot demand would be going up. But to match that demand, the present setup of flying training organization is lagging, and hence I would say that yes, there is a felt shortage of pilots.
For those watching who are curious, how does one actually become a pilot in India?
Indian regulator DGCA governs the terms and conditions for one to become a pilot in India. As of now, it is in discussion whether one should pass his standard 12th, that is 10 plus 2 with maths and physics, but we'll consider both scenarios. So you have your maths and physics in 10 plus 2, or otherwise after that, once you're passed, you have to meet 3 criteria. That is, you should be medically fit, in the sense you should be certified medically fit in your class 2 medicals and your class 1 medicals. Then second criteria is you should acquire the required skills of flying aircraft, and that too for 200 hours according to DGCA. And the third requirement is you should be having a valid flight radio telephony license. Once you do all these, and to do all this you go to the required organizations, you acquire these qualifications in whatever set time frame suits you, and then you submit your application for becoming pilot, and you will become pilot. You will be issued with commercial pilot license, aeroplanes oblique helicopters in India.
What are the advantages of the flying career?
Cool. I mean, yes, advantages, you get to go on a podcast. Had I been on ground, I think I would not have met you. But anyways, the advantages are you are seeing the world with a different perspective altogether. You're getting up in the morning and you're wearing that uniform, which is the smartest uniform in the world. And then you are going, you're handling the machine as you like, with, traveling from one place to other, and then staying there for a while, coming back. And this is one day. Next day, the same routine will happen, but the places will be different. The joy of doing that next sortie will be, so the thrill is always maintained. And yes, the other fallouts would be the aviation is quite glamorous. One likes to, stay in picture always. one likes to being a pilot, one likes to be fit always. And I think, what else you want?
So, speaking of income, what's the salary range of the commercial pilots in India?
Most awaited question, I would say. Yeah. So, yeah, aviation pays you very decently for the decisions you make on a flight deck. And to make those decisions, you are leading a certain kind of lifestyle. So, in India, if I would directly come to some figures, then for a first officer in an airline, you can take it anywhere in between 1.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs to start with. And as per your skills, experience, and type of aircraft you fly, later you will be placed somewhere in 6 to 10 lakhs in the current scenario.
Oh, that's good. What are the flying training organizations that are available in India?
So there are many, but to tell you in the structured way, we are sitting in Mumbai. If you fan out, there is one in Mumbai. If you go a little out, then you will find this in Dhule. They have their own flying operations branch, the base, I would say. And then you go a little far. There are two at Baramati, and I mean every state on an average has 5 to 6 organizations. So to go in a correct manner to find out this, you go on Director General of Civil Aviation India website, and you'll get a PDF list of it, which will have the serial number, name of the organization, the address, and the aircraft it has, and the required contact details also.
So, I want to ask you one question. Should someone do the training in India or go abroad?
Yeah, I think this is the question for someone who is starting the training in current scenario. Options are many, so students are likely to get confused. But I would say that you should decide. You should decide where you are going to fly next. If you are aiming to settle down in some foreign countries, or you have some other plans, or you want a training to be done in a really quick time frames, then you should look at the availability of the aircrafts, availability of the instructors, and then the location of the flying training organization. So if all this falls in place and then you want to select, then I would say there is no difference in training. It is just that Indian flight training organizations align you more with the Indian regulations and rules of air, and they keep you in the same setup while training. And after getting onto the real airline flight deck, you will be operating into the same bubble. However, once you go to foreign countries, you operate in a different ecosystem, a different bubble. Maybe you learn under ASA rules or FAA rules, and then you have to convert your knowledge, convert your skills with the conversion syllabus after coming to India. So I would say it's a personal choice. However, what factors I have mentioned, the availability of instructors and the airplanes, location dictates the weather. So I think those are the factors to be considered.
Okay, and what about the cadet pilot programs versus the traditional pilot route?
In my mind, I was thinking that this is going to be a next question. Yeah. So let me give you a background about what is conventional and what is cadet pilot program. So conventional, if you ask me, is like I told you, what are the requirements? So one decides to become a pilot, and he himself chooses the flying school, and he himself goes there, reports there, spend some time there, get his skills done for 200 hours, and side by side, he joins some ground classes or takes the classes from the same organization where he's flying, and does his syllabus, clears his DGCA exams, written exams, and then gets his medicals. So this is one way to go about it, where you are choosing things. You are choosing your organization, you are choosing time, place. Whereas in cadet pilot program, the operator, the airline chooses you. So they will definitely take some entrance test, and they'll choose you, they'll make you a part of one batch. They will have their ground training. You go in a structured manner to become a pilot. And yes, at the completion of cadet pilot programs, you are assured a pilot's job by the airline, because and now if this answer will be incomplete if I don't talk about the expenses. So cadet pilot program is about say 2 years, 2.5 years, depending upon the airline which you are joining. So some airlines have it for 2 years, some airlines have it for 3 years, and the expenditure wise, it is double, almost double the cost which if you would have spent had you done it on your own. And one more distinction point is when you are doing it on your own, you are just acquiring a qualification. There is no job guarantee. However, in a cadet pilot program, if you enroll yourself and you clear everything right, then definitely you are going to serve that airline. You have that job guarantee.
So let's know about the pilot skills. In your view, what is the single most important quality every pilot should have?
Decision. And to take the right decision, Miss Angel, let me tell you, you need to have your spaces around you organized, the spaces inside your head. Your thoughts should be organized. You should be more situationally aware. And then you have everything around you in your head. And you have the habit of, being a, a quick decision maker and being organized in your thoughts, then you'll do well in aviation.
So, Captain Ashish, you've shared so much about aviation. Now, let's get to know about you a little more. Tell me more about your family.
Yeah, definitely. So whatever I am today is because of my family and their support. So we are a family of four. Uh, my wife, Priya, I'm happily married to Priya since 2011. And we have two kids, Master Adamya and Miss Ovia. Ovia is 10 years, Adamya is 3 years.
Your kids' names are very unique. But Priya Patil, the founder of Flaps Up, right?
Oh, good. Good to see that you picked up her name. Yes, yes. Priya Patil is the same Priya Patil who is the founder of Flaps Up. And yeah, I think we were into it for last one or more decade when we were in the military. She was always, helping me with my selection of clothing and sometimes getting it customized for us, for our unit. So then her knowledge accumulated there, her taste, which I respect a lot, has, uh, put us in the place where we took a decision to start Flaps Up.
So, what are your other plans beyond Flaps Up?
Yeah, as a couple, I think I have started stepping into civil aviation by getting enrolled in the training and getting my civil license after my military flying career. And Priya is again supporting aviation industry, uh, and as she has started her own aviation lifestyle brand, Flaps Up. So I think this is just the beginning. And as the life gives us the opportunities, we would like to more in aviation because now we know about aviation.
And does Flaps Up help in any way towards that sense of organization you talked about earlier?
I think yes, directly because when you have to be organized, you need some gadgets around you. You need some places. You need curated products, specialized products, which will help you to facilitate being organized for a particular task of flying. So Flaps Up offers them all. At present, the situation is that we have to import them all because I think US producers and makers are producing such products. However, I found a gap in India.
Okay, now, Captain, tell us why do you love flying so much, even after all these years?
I was also thinking the same. When I had a pause in flying, and for some time I did take the corporate career, uh, I had a natural call to be back to cockpit, to experience that thrill, to experience that machine is completely under your control, and to live that life of a pilot, as I earlier mentioned.
And what's your message to young people dreaming of the skies?
Yeah, there is a very clear-cut message that be humble, work hard, be focused, gear your flaps up and be ready to take off. If you have to become pilot, be one immediately.